Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So today is September 23rd, 2020. As you can see, I'm here at the studio, but I wanted to come here real quick to see if everybody's like seeing the same stuff. There has been some cases where I've seen people who are very well known in the faith, and they talk about God, and they testify about Jesus and what the work that Jesus has done in their life. But what I've been finding shocking is I have seen people, and we all seen it, I guess, people who are like musicians who were Christian music, who used to play Christian music, do the Christian concert, all of that stuff. Also, there have been people who had been pastors at mega churches, and lately, like there's have been so many like YouTube videos that I've seen of people who have been now those people that were like on fire for Jesus had come out and say they no longer believe. I personally know somebody who's saying that now, and to me, it's very shocking to see that. I mean, when somebody says, when you see somebody in church serving and doing, the works for the Lord and serving its people and just being like a true devoted Christian, and then you see them come out and say they no longer believe, that has to be a shock for anybody. It's very shocking for me. It's kind of scary because at the end of the day, I still don't understand how can you, if you've seen the work of Jesus in your life, if you know about hell, if you know that the only salvation is Jesus, and you still want to come out and say you no longer believe. So to me, that's just the enemy working in that person's life. And that's, ultimately, that's what the devil wants to do, right? He wants to destroy your life completely. So, and especially for you to come out and say that, because a lot of people who are like, and it seems to happen to very famous people, in the sense that very influential, like big mega churches, pastors, who are now coming on YouTube and making videos about denying the faith. I mean, you have to be, like I was saying in one of my previous videos, you have to be so careful what comes out of your mouth, because you influences everything these days. You might be leading somebody to eternal fire just because something that you are struggling with, and you have to be so careful about that. Because especially, I mean, I'm not trying to warn anybody, but I'm just saying, like, pastors give account to everybody who they preach to. So I just feel like it's very kind of like sad and shocking to see somebody who was serving at the church and doing all this stuff to come out and say they no longer believe. So I think that the one reason for that, obviously, is the devil working in that person's life. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I think another thing also is ministry burnout. I have seen it happen many times. Somebody comes up new in the church and everybody goes crazy, and out of nowhere, this person has no time to even get to know the people. They're already leading Bible stories, and they're leading get together with the other ladies, and it's like it's. I think, honestly, guys, I think in the churches these days they have to just let the new members like settle in and take their time. I see new members, and because you have to think about it, there's also other people who are waiting for an opportunity. And I feel like a lot of the times the churches, they see somebody new come in, and within a month they're already giving that person assignments. Oh, you can do this, or you can work that, and maybe you can lead the ladies group. I mean, this is somebody who perhaps doesn't have that type of connection yet. Yeah, they're being put on a pedestal to do ministry that maybe somebody is already waiting for it. And of course, God leads the leader to assign people positions in the church. I mean, I would hope so that that is the case. But when you're trying to attract new members, you are going to pick somebody who is relatable. So let's say you have somebody in church who might not look as modern or whatever, but that person, God qualifies them because they've been a servant of Christ for so many years, but somebody new comes on, she's very cool, and everybody wants to talk to her and whatever, and there she is still in ministry. I feel like it's still in ministry and opportunities in the sense that because of that, they're being given these big positions in churches that belongs perhaps to other person. And then what happened is, what I seen happen is that after a few months, that person that was given that position is no longer coming to the church. And I believe, honestly, from my experiences, that it's because they are burning these people up, in the sense they're giving them way too much responsibility way too early. And it's just like, here. But who stays there at the end of the day? That person that's been faithfully coming, to the church. And I just feel like when it comes to new members, definitely they burn them out. I mean, I have seen it happen. I remember starting going to this new church, and within, like I say, 2 months, and I do understand there's a need for serving and all of that, but I was pulled aside to do the tithing, to count the money that comes in and prepare the bank deposits and doing all of that stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, like, of course I said yes. I was like, yeah, I can do that. But the thing is, like, I just feel like it was a little too much too fast. Here I am, not even knowing that many people in the church, not even able to connect so much, because when it was time to connect, at the end of service, I was pulled away to the office to count the money that was collected that day, and to, write down the reports, prepare the bank deposits, and by the time I left, everybody has gone home. So here I am. I was coming in for service. At the end of service, the minute they collected the money, we will go in and count the money in the office with two other people. I was new. I didn't know that many people, and by the time, sometimes it was, it was a lot of money collected, a lot of checks, all of that, but it will take all that time during the service. An hour and a half it will take us to just prepare everything. By the time we will open the door out of the office, I was like, oh, service is over. We will hear them singing the end song, and I was like, oh, wow, like, I didn't even hear the service today. And that's the thing I feel like is happening. They see a new member come in, and here they are bombarding them with new positions, And I feel like a lot of the times mega churches do that. I feel like just to keep members in, if you have a responsibility, maybe you are able to come every Sunday. I feel like that could be a reason, I don't know, or maybe to make them feel welcome. But you always have to understand that not everybody's looking for ministry, or not everybody's ready for that yet. You have to let people settle in first, and not only and that also creates some type of rivalry. Yes, we can say, in the Christian church that shouldn't happen, but it happens. You see, you're waiting there for an opportunity. Here comes a new person who looks like cooler and more relatable to compared to you, and they're giving her the position that you were waiting for. So that's just stuff that I feel like as a church need to think about. So I feel like that's what it is. It's just too much too fast. And then people fall off. And I'm not saying that's just the only reason, There's so many reasons. Like I said before, it has to be sin working in that person's life, It has to be the burnout of the ministry, the responsibility. People maybe they just wanted to come in and visit for a few months, and because they came 3 weeks in a row, here they are leading the ladies' worship. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. Maybe they just want to sit back and see how everything works first. I also think that I've seen a lot of people, especially in the Spanish community, I've seen a lot of people that come to you and they say, I think I know who your husband is going to be, things like that. I feel like that can get, like, I used to go to this church and I saw people get married, I saw a lot of marriages happen, and then I saw a lot of divorces happen. And I feel like it's because there's something that happens, I guess, in our culture, that they feel like, until you get married, you will never be like, I guess you can say complete or something, but they're always pushing that. They're always pushing marriage, and I feel like a lot of the time it's a little pre it's a little done before its time. I feel like, we as Christians especially need to understand that everything has its time, everything has its season. And when you force things to happen just because, somebody might say, oh, I think so and so is single, and you're single too, so maybe you guys should talk after church. The pressure, if you have somebody coming into church every Sunday, and that's what everybody asks about, there's a lot of pressure when it comes to that. You will think, oh, I will never get married because I'm being pressured. You have no idea what people feel. You don't want to walk into church and feel shame, or feel like, everybody's looking at you, waiting for you to make the move, or like what's happening after you guys were dating type of thing. But it happens, and I feel like it happens more than people want to talk about. And then you see a lot of divorces, and then I feel like when it comes to that, then you see people leaving the faith. That could be a reason too. And people say, they live in the faith just because there was never faith to begin with. No, not necessarily. There are people who are on fire for Jesus, and you can see that in their lives. What probably happened to, they opened the door to the enemy somehow. And this is why a lot of testimonies are popping up in here on YouTube of big influencer, mega pastors, church singers. I know singers who used to sing for Jesus and now they don't. Like I told you, I know people who are, they used to be in the church and now they're no longer in this church, saying they deny the faith. So it's just kind of hard. So I just wanted to come here and do this video real quick to see if anybody has experienced something like this where they're living and, in their church or whatever. And if you have any stories that you would like to share, go right ahead and leave it in the comment. I do apologize. I feel like the camera is moving too much, but thank you so much for watching this video. And I just feel like, in my case, guys, honestly, without Jesus, I don't know where I would be. God forbid that I will ever come across a situation like that, because I feel like the reason for life, the reason for everything is Jesus. And I'm so thankful that my family instructed me in the path of the Lord when I was younger, growing up. So I think that's what life is all about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I hope you have a good rest of the week. Bye.